Welcome to Day Rocket Science. I'm Adam Malkin, and we are hosting this episode from E3, the epicenter of everything gaming, from programming to design and gameplay. It's where all the biggest names in electronic entertainment release their newest products. We'll get more on that in a minute, but first, in the time we have together, we'll check out how students in New York City try and help the Transit Authority get on the right track with an innovative way of cleaning up. Above ground, we take to the streets with world-renowned physicist Brian Greene as the World Science Festival sets up shop in the Big Apple, and check out the can-do attitude at San Antonio's newest interactive museum as it opens its doors to young science and tech enthusiasts. On the soccer field, it takes a lot of strength and conditioning to be competitive, but many times, good old-fashioned ingenuity can help engineer a win. We'll hear from one of the players on last year's U.S. men's soccer team. All this and more in this episode of It Ain't Rocket Science, part of Time Warner Cable's Connect a Million Minds initiative, aimed at connecting you with science, technology, engineering, and math opportunities in your community. Here at E3, it's all things electronic entertainment, but don't think it's all just child's play. There's some serious engineering at work and the opportunity to check out some pretty cool jobs. From programming to design, building a video game takes a wide range of STEM skills.
There's actually a ton of different disciplines in the game industry, so it really depends on what you're interested in. So there's producers that are constantly managing the budget, managing the time, that really have a lot of kind of business skills that they've built up. Our artists, just tremendous, kind of creative qualities. They've studied drawing, they've studied, all the computer programs that you use, like ZBrush for modeling and sculpting. And for the design side, it's really all about kind of, rules and understanding the fundamentals of a game and how it plays and how to balance things.
And while playing video games might sound like the greatest job in the world, these professional game designers say, just like anything else, it takes a lot of hard work.
Work hard at school. You need to listen to those teachers. You need to make sure you study math. Make sure you stick at it. Make sure you pick up subjects like physics, geography, believe it or not. I use an awful lot of geography as a designer when I'm thinking about environments, thinking about locations. Art's a great subject, and again, it's one of those subjects you don't need to be naturally gifted, but you can stick at it. You need to communicate.
STEM's an acronym for science, technology, engineering, and math, but lately it's been more like a four-letter word, and that is code. This new miniature build-your-own computer could be the key to coding your way to E3 one day. Let's take a closer look at Cano.
It does have really cool games to play.
He's talking about this tiny machine. It's called Cano, and it's a new kind of computer designed with a very special purpose in mind.
I wanted to build a computer kit for kids of all ages all over the world so they can make, learn, and play with technology and control the world around them and get ready for the future.
The Cano comes with an operating system, wireless keyboard, and speaker. All you have to do is plug it into a screen, and from there, the only thing it needs to unlock the nearly limitless world of coding is imagination.
I like coding because you get to create things.
There's no really limitation of what you can do. Coding takes you beyond what is right here. It's like when you go onto a virtual life and you can create things and you can make things that you couldn't really make right now, right in this world without technology, and I think that's amazing.
By making the science of coding fun, this little machine is recruiting the next generation of computer programmers. After graduating from high school early, one group of students will be putting its STEM skills to work at one of the top tech companies in the world. Taralyn Wagner joins them as they prepare for their first day on the job.
These 6 students got more than just a high school diploma at their commencement ceremony. After completing their 6-year program in just 4 years, these teens walked away with an associate's degree and job offers from IBM.
This is also an amazing experience. The fact that it's 6 of us out of like 100-something kids, we worked together, we had the same goals, took advantage of the opportunities that was given to us, and we made it here.
They're the first students to graduate from Pathways in Technology Early College High School, or PTech. If the name sounds familiar, it's probably because the president visited the school in 2013, praising its unconventional approach to STEM education.
Hello, Brooklyn!
The 6-year program enables students to earn a high school diploma and an associate's degree, and have the opportunity to start careers with PTech partners like IBM.
I didn't get accepted to any choices that I originally put down. And now to have the opportunity to have a school that completely paid for my first 2 years of college, and I have the chance of working with a Fortune 500 company straight out of school, it's just amazing. Like.
Radcliffe Sadler had the chance to introduce the president when he visited the school in 2013, and he says this experience is on that level.
It just left me speechless, and now this is just up there with all the accomplishments.
3 of the students have accepted jobs with IBM, and 3 have opted to continue their education and pursue a 4-year degree. Organizers say it's a win-win for these teens.
The sky's the limit. They've demonstrated that they can complete a 6-year program in 4 years. Who knows what they can achieve? And there are many more students at PTech schools around the 3 states who will do the same.
I have my whole life ahead of me. I could go into different fields in IBM. I could just be around, have connections, do all sorts of different things that I couldn't imagine doing outside of IBM. So this is just an amazing experience.
There are currently 27 PTech schools open in the U.S., in New York, Connecticut, and Illinois, and that number is expected to grow to 40 this fall. For It Ain't Rocket Science, I'm Tara Lynn Wagner.
On many of our nation's transit systems, there's a need to be vigilant, with the slogan often heard, if you see something, say something. But for one group of students, it was more like, do something. Our Lindsay Christ checks in with these high schoolers whose future seems to be right on track.
Trash on the subway tracks. It attracts rats, causes fires, and delays riders. And the New York City Metropolitan Transit Authority's system for picking it up is falling way short of the agency's own standards. Enter 12 smart high school seniors. It's a prototype of a vacuum that would attach to the front of the MTA's work trains, an invention that came out of the back of a tiny classroom where the dozen Baruch College high school seniors have been holed up.
They've been coming in every single day from 3 to 6 p.m. They've come in over some breaks to work, and then every Saturday.
They won a prestigious $8,000 grant from MIT and recruited a lot of mentors for free advice. And now they've caught the attention of local politicians.
Trains that clean the tracks really don't work. There's only 2 of them in the system. One picks up the garbage 30% of the time, and one's broken. So what these students put forth was a new way of thinking about subway maintenance. Meaning you need something smaller, mobile, quicker.
Scott Stringer stopped by the school to see the students present their invention and was so impressed he promised to get them an audience with the MTA.
I think this is the prototype of the future, and it happened right here.
All 12 of the team members are first-generation Americans, and in September, they'll be the first in their families to go to college. Nearly all of them plan to study engineering.
This is our passion. It's like it started off as like an intangible idea, and now we're making it tangible.
Meanwhile, the students already have a big presentation coming up. They've been invited to present their prototype at MIT in a few weeks. So they're in the middle of a different type of challenge, raising the money to get there. For It Ain't Rocket Science, I'm Lindsay Christ.
There are many things in this world that are just acts of nature. Volcanoes, landslides, earthquakes, all nearly impossible to predict. However, the Earth's rumbling doesn't always have to lead to ruin. Some would-be engineers in North Carolina are learning how to build more structurally sound buildings. Meg Smith has the story.
These Wiley Middle School students are gearing up to test their carefully constructed buildings against an earthquake.
We had straws, we had pins, paper clips, string, and a piece of cardboard for the base.
We can test minimum and maximum on here.
The buildings had to be 2 stories high.
It's just putting too much pressure on it, so pay attention to where your stress points are.
And stand the weight of a sandbag on each story to make sure they were structurally sound while they were being tested.
The buildings aren't always really reinforced, so they collapse over really quick.
So what can we say about the foundation already? It's incredibly sturdy.
We learned about what goes into a building to keep it standing, what goes into the different levels of the building, because it's not just the bottom floor that you have to be worried about, it's also the top floor.
Okay, so far so good.
Along with the 2 types of waves, primary and secondary, that earthquakes produce.
The S wave, it goes side to side, and the P wave goes up and down. So we were testing it on each of those waves and see if each sandbag would stay on each level.
As part of the project, students were able to analyze actual security video that captured when an earthquake was happening inside a building.
It's
mind-blowing.
A mind-blowing experience learning about one of nature's most shocking disasters. For It Ain't Rocket Science, I'm Meg Smith.
All right, I have to take a quick break, but coming up, we'll take you to the crossroads of the World Science Festival, one of New York City's more entertaining, engaging, and, well, educational festivals. And we're off to San Antonio to check out a new do-seum, where hands-on the exhibits is not only encouraged, but required. And later we catch up with one of the nation's top soccer stars who tells us how a little science can help make you more outstanding in your field. To find more hands-on science, technology, engineering, and math opportunities in your community, visit theconnectory.org, made possible by Time Warner Cable's Connect a Million Minds.